We are representing a danger to Egypt. We are very dangerous to Egypt.
That's crazy.
Please.
Where is now?
Excuse me.
I greet you in the love and light of our infinite creator. We're going to special opening of the ISIS chamber today. So we need to get on a boat pretty soon. What are we going to do today?
So it's about 4 AM at the moment, and we're on the way. We're on a boat sailing over to the ISIS temple. We've been downloading frequencies, uploading codes, doing our grid work through the whole tour, and what we're going to do is go into the ISIS temple. We've got special access, and we're going to do a sacred ceremony, download the codes into the grids, work with the temple here, work with some of the grid points, and just send a tsunami of high frequency code through the ley lines, through the grids, for healing, to replenish Mother Earth, the crystalline grid structures, some of them that have been hijacked and damaged. We're going to clean and clear those and just elevate the frequency and send this kind of wave of consciousness out through the planet, you know, to our brothers and sisters around Earth. I think everyone's tired, no one's had any sleep.
Yeah, and it's Ramadan for them as well. So.
Yeah, they're all fasting.
Yeah. And then we've got a mushroom ceremony later on today.
We're gonna get back on the boat, sail down the Nile for a couple of hours. We're gonna go to the Kom Ombo Temple, go in there for an hour or two, and then back to the boat for a mushroom ceremony as we sail back up to Luxor, yeah.
I'm very excited for that.
Me too, bro.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that. Maybe you need a hand here?
Nope,
Good?
good. As long as there's a rail, I'm really good.
Okay. I can't see anything. I've got a blinding white light in front of me. It's beautiful. So I think Jerry's negotiating what's going on here.
So we're waiting for the big guy when we're paying €3,000. Do you know what I mean? What time do we start? 5 o'clock?
Outside, can we play?
Outside, okay. We've got special access to our meditation. So are we allowed to talk in there? Are we allowed to
Meditation, talk, you can see open your heart, open your eyes, the normal meditation, yes. Yeah. But without any instrument.
Okay, are these guys going to stay outside and leave us alone? They're not going to be on their phones, they're not going to be shining lights?
No, don't worry. I'm a director of the temple and there is a city house going.
Okay, so you leave everyone outside?
Not for the first time for me to be here in the temple.
Are they going to leave us alone?
Yes, in the pure meditation, you are allowed to talk. No one will be We are representing a danger to Egypt. We are very dangerous to Egypt.
That's crazy. Since when is love dangerous? I mean, there is war in the world, and we actually spread the love out. Is that dangerous? How crazy is that?
Your fear is from something that you don't understand. If you don't understand it, and
What, they don't understand love?
you don't understand your language.
staff, but please get all those guys to make sure their phones are off and everything. Yeah.
We'll
All
go out.
phones ringing.
All of us will go out, but please, he said that's no photo, huh?
We're not going to play any instruments.
Okay.
Shiariatuna shariatuku. Yariatuku ashamatiriekua. It flows through your heart, your lungs, your ribcage, down through every vital organ, rejuvenating and replenishing your physical body. Iariatua, shiarien kuariata. Iarieno shiaya wataku atakuata. Shoo. Ashakaria.
Where is Dawi?
Excuse me.
كده لا خش وين لا خش يا باشا كده لا خلاص
Into your body. Breathe them into your soul. Breathe in these crystalline gold. Feel the love. Just breathe.
Right your mobile.
You can see. So the police tried to take my camera. And Hisham, our guide, said that I had to give it to him. So I had to say, like, I'm not going to cause trouble. And he said, well, you know, the police will take it. I'm like, well, I'll take that risk. But yeah, as you saw, the police tried to stop any of the chanting, any of the stuff that was going on there. So I need to be careful, make sure they're happy. It's amazing. The temple's huge. Hello. Hello. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, it's bright out here. The sun's arisen. Wow, so amazing.
Siriatua, Siriatakulium, Shayana Shakumari, Shiki, Kia, Gayana Shatumaki, Kia.
This place is always crazy energy, man. Yeah, I can feel it. I can feel it. Big time.
Did you record all that?
Yeah, all of it. Every single bit.
I recorded
recorded, and I recorded all of the. So I got a call to come out of the circle because I felt like the bustling. I was like, I think they're going to try and stop us. And I came out of the circle and I was able to record them all just clambering over, like just like trying to. There was 10 of them taking photos and stuff like that, like there's videos and everything. It was really interesting. Yeah. There's one guy that's really out for me, and I'm like, oh, I need to like make friends with him, but I don't know how. But yeah, it's nuts how. And then Hisham took my camera off me, but I was able to get it back. I said, look, I'm here to take videos. So I just had a conversation with the detective, really nice man, and he said, look, if you want to press charges on the guy who grabbed you and your camera, just let me know and we can do that. And obviously, of course, I said I'm not interested in that, in pressing charges. He's just doing his job. He really is, and that's the thing. It's like they don't know better. They don't see it, and it's okay. Like, but for me, I come here as kind of an observer, as a compassionate observer, really. And that's the funny thing. I think a lot of people in life would just do that, just for something to do, bother people. Like, not even a single part of me was like, oh yeah, let's do that, because he doesn't know better. He's been taught one way. His paycheck comes from a place. And he's had it out for me. He had it out for me yesterday as well. He was on my tail. And this is the funny thing. It's like you don't meet anger with more anger. You meet it with love. So I send my love to him. Truly. And yeah, I think Jerry's right. Like, people are coming around. The detective seemed very, very genuine with what he said. He said, I've been on the website, I talked to you guys, see what you're doing. I know that what you're doing is not like evil or satanic or anything like that. And I think what's really interesting over here is you can see it's a facade. Like, it's a facade of bricks, which is crazy. Like, in a lot of ways, like, it doesn't make sense. Like, why is that a facade? What was that? A new part of was that a new part of the temple, or just something that they couldn't be bothered hauling bricks up? Because it looks like cement covered in, yeah, some kind of facade. But the whole thing does, really. Oh, it's a little kitty cat. Hello. You come to say hello? Oh, you are both adorable. Just this whole thing, it goes on and on forever, and it's all across Egypt. How did people do this? Well, it was certainly not with chisel. I think it was with chisel. Just look at any of the attempts to try and unchisel it. This is the thing. Just like basic common sense. Look at this. You can see they've tried to get rid of so much of it. It's willful destruction, and you can see it's all there. They tried to do that. So if they could make this with chisel, why couldn't they unmake it with chisel? Well, the answer is that they didn't make it with chisel. They made it with thought, probably using crystals, probably harnessing the energy of crystals and carving that in to the stone. Very similarly to how something like the NASCAR lines existed. It's like an artist with thought. we live in a scientific world that needs proof of everything, and nobody's got proof of how they did do it. But we believe the people who tell us one story and another story and another story, and are adamant on that story because that's what they've been taught. If it's not clear enough already to you about quite how much the government and our world leaders want to suppress this information, especially Egypt. We just listened to Graham Hancock and the abuse he's been getting with any of his theories. They don't want people to know the truth. They don't want people to understand how fucking powerful they are. They really don't. It's antithetical to everything that the people in power stand for, that you might access your own power, and that we as a collective might one day be able to create something as magnificent as this. So let's just take a walk over. We're all leaving now. Maybe we'll get a little photo taken.
Offered to borrow one down the hall, but you
Andy,
Yes?
what happened to your camera in there?
They tried to take it off me.
Okay.
Sorry, but
Tried to take it off you today.
yeah.
I
So,
thought it's like started to fall or something.
well, yeah. So it did start to fall, but then I caught it and I used that as an excuse to turn it off because I was like, well, I wanted to save the battery, and I could sense something was happening behind us. So like I could feel all the energy behind us, and I was like, well, this would be nice for the documentary. So it's much brighter than it was earlier on. We've got rid of the things. That there's a guy over there. It's a really nice man over there. I like him. He told me to turn his flash off, and he was like, no, he was cool. He wasn't a bad guy. Not like that other blue-shirted guy that was causing me problems.
These guys are fit and healthy, and like their energy's amazing. You look over there and they're just they're fat and fucking, you know, they just put shit into their body. Two completely different types of beings, you know?
Yeah.
These guys are pure and those guys are just all fucked up. You know what I mean? Just a boat of lizards, you know? It is, boat of lizards. All addicted to pornography. You know, all of them. You know? None of them are making love to their missuses. They're all wanking and masturbating, you know what
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The temple completely moved in 1962 to be in another one. This is Phila Temple, and the other one called Tigelica Temple. It's different names. It was a hard work to move the whole temple to put it in the other side, just using the technique to make outer casing or to make an enclosure wall by metal sticks like this to cover or to block the water, and then use sand to put it inside to absorbing the water to make the whole area dry, and after that start to cut the whole temple and directly by numbers to take this small blocks to put it in another one. This was the first challenge. The second challenge, when moved the whole temple in the original place, they found the measurement of the other one is smaller than the original. That stop and makes expanding of the another island to be fit for the whole temple.
Can't have it, Hasham. Mine.
I want only to.
I know. I knew that.
The way of very nervous. That you
It's
are.
the blue guy in particular, the guy in the blue shirt. He manhandled me yesterday and today, and it's like he's got no real right to do that. Like, it's him that's causing the problem, right? Like, if you think about it, they're causing the problem, making it my problem, but that's not really okay, right? Like, I'm not doing anything.
You get afraid that you are filming them.
There's a very standard trick that I've noticed that they take you into somewhere, and there's always a lot of shops at the end, and they guide you through the shops. But there's always very nice incense and stuff like that going on. Oh, he doesn't like being filmed. Me and go away. Oh, he's like, he saw the opportunity for the pink hat brigade. He's coming to sell more pink hats. He's like, oh, they love pink hats. Go get them more pink hats.
Get one to Tyler. Do you want one?
How do you need one?
They love the pink hats.
Yalla. It's good. Yalla. Yalla. Yalla.
Michael?
Go, Michael. Michael.
Mary had a little lamb. We need a staff.
It's the same. Yes, perfect. It's the same price.
Kelly needs one. Come on. We should get the police officers now.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's the same.
The crazy thing is, like, each hat that he's given to everybody fits them perfectly. Yeah. He just knew, man. They all suit us.
Like,
I like that one too.
Kit Joe suits him perfectly.
it like fits his head so perfect.
You're looking very fetching, Jerry.
Yeah. Fetching.
What a great end to that journey. That was
amazing.
That was fantastic.
Raising the vibration with high humour, joy,
exactly.
laughter.
I'm keeping this.
Medicine, man.
I'll go keep this forever. So it looks like the mushroom ceremony will be quite late tonight. I'm not going to take much mushrooms because I want to check out the vibe. I want to make sure it's safe and yeah, I've never done mushrooms in this environment, and there's a lot of energy here. So that'll be one thing I need to think about. I think it's really funny. It's like it's all a big metaphor. The police causing all the problems. Like, we wouldn't cause any problems, but the police cause all the problems. Tell us to stop it. Shout at us. Break up the meditation. Break up the practice, I do it with force and do it with anger and do it with like a lot of shouting and that, and then like start taking my camera off me and start looking at me suspiciously, and it's like and the amusing thing is, like, I'm pretending to look at them suspiciously. I don't really care what's going on, but they're like actually looking at me suspiciously. I'm just doing it as I'm just like doing it as a mirror reflection to them. But I can't access that part of me, or don't access that part of me that is in any way afraid of them. They've chosen to use this life as a joke. They've been given a divine spark, and they've chosen to surrender that divine spark to other humans. And I was dumb as well, that's the thing. I'm not saying that I was any better. It took me a while to snap myself out of it, but until I was about 11, I was just, okay, this is a religion I have to do, this is what everybody's telling me, because they really cared about me. And I'm sure that that guy and those people have the same. But the problem is, I'll tell you one entity that doesn't care about you. Well, first of all, your religion does not care about you. Your religion cares to control you. If your religion works for you, then great, keep at it. But the government does not work for you. Look at this country as an example. And I'm sorry for everybody who's spent their whole entire life getting told tales of fear, tales of terror from your religion. It's not right, it's not fair, and I'm sorry that that had to happen. But I think we're moving into a new age where we can laugh at that. I know that I was miserable when I looked for validation from outside of myself. And I know that's probably why if you're miserable, that's probably going to be the reason. Don't let anybody tell you what you should or shouldn't do. So we're leaving for the second temple of the day before the mushroom ceremony. I'm just going to take you downstairs. There's some police out there, so that'll be fun. Fun with police. Yeah, there's like 8 of them waiting out there. After this morning stuff, like, I think they're all really onto us. We don't even need to take a bus. We're right here. That's wonderful. What do we know about this temple, Hisham?
So what is so special about this temple? It's 2 temples in one. All the Egyptian temple is dedicated to one god, or a Trinity. Here we will find everything twice. We'll find two halls, 2 corridors, to the left and to the right. Very similar, exact the same. One dedicated to the god Horus, the falcon god, and one dedicated to the god Sobek, the crocodile god.
Horus and Thoth bathing him with ankhs, and I was told that means that he was bathing with holy water. I'm going to give you another perspective here. So Horus, the sun god, the god of light, and Thoth, the god of wisdom. That's the key, right? So they're given the pharaoh, or the person, the key to life, really, which is understanding that you're divine. So you can see that there's a mushroom down here, which is really funny, because we're doing a mushroom ceremony today. Let's point upwards. So see how big it is. It's amazing. Truly amazing. You really got to think about how much effort was put into these things at all levels. I think there's an interesting thing that comes to mind for me is like the other day you said that there's good and bad, or like good and evil within all of us, and this is the temple of good and evil.
Yeah.
And maybe I was thinking, like, what's your definition in that? Because I maybe come at it from a different point of view. I don't know.
What do you mean, good and evil?
Yeah, I don't know if I believe in good and evil. I don't think there is such a thing as good and evil. I think there really is just action, and defining good and evil is
I mean, I suppose it's an interpretation that people give to someone's actions.
Yeah.
Isn't it? You know, you could just say it's all a bunch of experiences.
Yeah.
And all of these experiences are necessary experiences on planet Earth. And then you got to start breaking it down, because, like, you know, you've got women out there being raped, you've got babies that are being eaten, you know, and they're adrenalized, blood drunk. I mean, that is probably a definition of evil, or is that just another experience? You know, it's both, isn't it? So it really depends on where you stand in all of this. And maybe we need the contrast to expose us to the extremities of both, so we know where we want to be on the scale, and that's in the 0 point, you know, bang in the center. You know, we don't want to be too much into the light, we don't want to be too much into the darkness, we want to just alchemize it all, like we were saying yesterday. But there are some nasty things that happen on the planet, but again, nasty is just a word.
It's maybe subjective as well.
You know, yeah.
Because the way I think about it is like any of these things happening from races that are other than us, or races that have like co-opted our own race. Like, you can look at it from a perspective of we do science experiments, right, on rats, right, and to the rats we're a bunch of evil maniacs, and it could be the same for us, right? Like it's
yeah, and that's another way of looking at it. There's so many different levels to this, and there's so many different perspectives. If you go all the way back to Avion, when they set up the very first Garden of Eden, I mean, we're talking like almost 4 billion years ago.
Yeah.
You know, and they produced the first 12-strand humanoid beings with arms and legs, like the Lyrans, you know, the bird beings, cat beings, and they lived on that planet for a long time in harmony. The Draco reptilians stumbled upon Vega and Avion and some of the other Lyran planets, and they lived there together in sort of relative harmony. It wasn't quite stable, but at some point the Draco reptilians, they massacred, slaughtered, ate the flesh and the energy of a lot of these beings, and that's where this kind of term loosh came from, where they started to realize that this kind of activated adrenalized blood of some of these Lyrans gave them such a euphoric buzz, such a euphoric feeling, they wanted more and more of it. And so if you go all the way back to the stars and you follow it all the way down through the galactic wars, through all of this galactic history, all the way down to planet Earth 4 billion years later, you know, there are beings on this planet that control humans that are still doing the same thing. You know, it's an energetic, spiritual battle. It's a frequency war. At the same time, it's also a school.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a school where we all come to learn, to grow, to remember, to navigate the craziness. Like, if you can come down to planet Earth and navigate this game and work it all out and get back to your center point, back to love, back to your heart, and you can do that amongst all of this chaos, then you're a fucking Jedi. Exactly. You know what I mean? So it is the best, one of the best training grounds in the whole of the universe.
Yeah.
You don't get this diversity in lots of other locations, in lots of other planets. You know, this kind of chaos, mayhem, diversity, extremities of dark, extremities of light. I mean, what a place to explore.
Yeah.
You know, what a place to have an experience. You know, of all the planets, if you're going to go somewhere, this is the place to go. And they don't just let anyone down here. You've got to be, you know, a well-versed, well-trained soul to get access to this template, because it's so chaotic when you get down here. A lot of new souls just wouldn't handle it. You know, we're biological computers, and other frequencies can tap into our brains, and they can place thoughts in, they can place emotions into our emotional body, and, you know, get us to feel this, get us to think that, and get us to take a certain course of action, you know, to move more into the darkness or move more into the light. But what we have to do as humans is realize that this game is going on, and then start making our own choices from our own 0 point. But you've got to empty the canvas of the mind, you know, because the canvas of the mind is so dirty, and a painter, an artist, never goes and gets a dirty canvas and paints on it. What they've got to do is get a nice clean canvas. So for us to truly create, we've got to empty the canvas of our mind and then start to think for ourselves instead of being manipulated. Most people don't realize that it's going on. They think they're thinking for themselves, but really they're being thought for.
Yeah, all their thoughts are just a combination of every other thought, or
other people's thoughts, their own thoughts from the day before, the week before, the month before, the year before, and the thoughts of other beings that are hanging around in the space too. You know, higher frequency beings, lower frequency beings.
But the more energy that one gets, and I see a lot of energy going to that path, right? The more people with guns we have in the world, the more drones with guns we have in the world, the more like distortion for power and a kind of negative power over people we have in this world.
You've also got consciousness expanding and people unifying and communities coming together. If you look at the, you know, this kind of conscious community, this elevated high frequency community that is searching and seeking for more knowledge and realize that our history is false, they're out there in the world and they're remembering who they are, discovering who they are, and they're stepping into their power and out from the manipulated reality. They're realizing that we're living in a holographic construct. They're realizing that there's an opportunity to live a different life, to be a certain way on this planet that isn't what people would call normal.
Yeah.
You know, it's out of the norm, but out of the norm is like the black sheep. It's like the fish swimming upstream, you know. This is where we want to be. We want to encourage more people to go against the tide. I mean, the world's like a pyramid. You got the minority at the top, the elite that control the rest of the planet. We need to invert that pyramid, flip the pyramid on its head, get the base at the top so humanity is there.
This is just an observation, but you've got an entire population of people, the Jewish people in particular, like they believe that they're the chosen ones, right? And for me, that's great. They can believe that all they want. That's wonderful, but it kind of separates them from everybody else.
All of this stuff is irrelevant.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant because we can't change anybody else. All we can do is focus on ourselves.
Yeah.
We can raise our own frequency, and as we raise our own frequency and open our heart and expand our own consciousness, we're going to naturally gravitate towards, or other souls like that are going to gravitate towards us, and we're going to naturally unify. It's not something we can force, it's not something that we can kind of control. We just got to let it evolve.
Yeah.
But what we have to do as humans is just allow ourselves to raise our own frequency, do our own inner work, and then off the back of that, as a byproduct, you know, we're naturally going to come together, or not. Either way, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, it really doesn't matter. Nothing matters. It's just energy, it's frequency. At some point we leave our body, we go on another journey, or we continue our journey in another body, or we return back to source, or we go to another planet. It doesn't matter, it's just one continuous ebb and flow.
Good evening. A quick sunset intention setting for this mushroom ceremony. I'm not going to take the camera in. It feels very personal to take that into a ceremony. But yeah, my intention is to connect with my higher self, connect with the teachings that I've been exposed to, and to lean into my known future. And if I'm honest, maybe have a little sleep while I'm at it, because I'm fucking knackered. That's about it. I just wanted to take the time really to do that before the ceremony begins. Okay, so we've got work to do in the morning. I guess a quick update. So the ceremony is over, but something very interesting happened in the ceremony. it was not a usual psilocybin ceremony. Because when you're surrounded by a lot of peaceful, loving people, and you're going to a psilocybin ceremony, which you've done many times, it might not occur to you that there's something incredibly dark